I'm demoing the project here. My name is Ashwin and I have Akshay with me. So I've just started the application and this is the initial setup. We have some transaction from an unknown person to each user for an amount of 10,000. And we have option to either log in as a user, as a miner, or view the statistics here, and either start or stop the simulation wherein extra users will join and a mining process will run in the background. So if you're a user, you can do a transaction to another user, and initially, as we saw before, the wallet balance is just 10,000. And if you do a transaction from 4 to 1 for an amount, this transaction also gets added to the list and gets saved here. So since nobody is mining as of now, these are all pending transactions, and if someone starts mining, they get moved to the mined block and they appear here. So we can see if you're a miner, you can log in and you need to start mining here. So once you start, it says that you've started your thing. And now once here you can see on the left side that mining is complete at M4, which is the miner who started mining. And you see that he gets some reward as well. So now if you see here, if you just refresh, we can see that all the transactions have moved to mined, and they have our extra transaction also has gotten mined. And if you see the statistics here, uh, um, we can see that it got mined at this point and still now. So these are the number of blocks mined versus the time. So now there are two blocks. There one is the initial block, which is the Genesis block, which doesn't have any transaction, which starts as you mine the first block. And you can see that here that the first block has gotten mined here with all these transactions. We have limited to 10 transactions per block. So now here there are 8 of them, and that is the thing. And if you want to see the balance, you log in as a user, and here, since the transaction was from 4 to 1, we can see that if 4 logs in and sees the balance, it has gotten reduced to this amount from 10,000. And if 1 logs in and selects the balance, it has gotten increased. So our mining has actually added to the wallet balance of each user transaction. Now M4 is currently mining in the background, and if you add one more transaction from user 6 to 3 for some amount, we can see that that also has gotten mined because one user is mining in the background, and it gets added to a new block. As you'll see here, statistics that there were 2 blocks till 247, and now at 250 now, or 248 50, there are like 3 blocks. And if you see the um, blockchain details, which everyone can see what is the current status. So 8 transactions have been put into the second block, and there is 1 transaction in the third block. Now if you're a miner, and since like M4 is already mining, and if you log in as M6, and if you want to check uh, if you click, like, see, we have put some extra things like M1 is not mining, but if M5 logs in and he needs to start mining now, 2 miners are mining in the background. So the final thing which we want to demo is the simulation. So we can start the simulation here. Once we click on this, like, you can see that 100 users will join, and there will be random transactions between users. So it takes like a couple of seconds for the users to get spawned. So the supervisor has to start all the nodes, and we can see that Once it's done, we'll see, you can see on the left side now all the miners have started mining, and there are like random transactions between random users. So we can see like as it runs, we can see on the pie chart here that the mining transactions and the unconfirmed ones like are like they keep going on here. So like most of them are getting mined. So as you refresh the page, you can see that as the simulation is running, like more and more transactions are like happening, and more of them are getting mined here. On the right side, like these are mined and these are like getting added every 30 seconds. So like once you refresh, you'll get to know like what's going on. And you can see the same here, like how many blocks are mined. Like there are a lot of blocks mined here, a lot of like at a time. Like if there is like only one transaction, then it will be put into this into the into one block. And like if there are many transactions, like maximum of 10 can be put into one block. And you can see here, so like now there are like 17 blocks. And as you refresh, this is like once you start, like it's infinitely running, so you can also stop it here. So wherein like the users will be there, but this is just for the demo purpose, like because it was there. So as a personal user, this option is like not used. You just have to like log in here and then do the transaction as shown before. And you can also see the wallet balance here. So that's basically the thing. And yeah.